Just wanted to update my collection since I've added several pieces since the last video. And I'll begin with Mr. Michael J. Fox. This is my second Michael J. Fox signed Funko Pop. Dark Parlor Originals announced that they were doing a signing with him, which was huge for that company. And I've been wanting to get this glow-in-the-dark Marty signed ever since I got it, I think around fall of last year. Ideally, in my mind, I wanted to get this one signed in person at a convention. And he was at a convention just recently with Christopher Lloyd, but that was out in Washington, and I'm on the other side of the country, so I wasn't able to go to that one, but hopefully one day in the future. But I still want to get this signed. I don't know how many years Michael J. Fox has where he could sign. So I sent this one in Dark Parlor. I trust him with this pop. For those that know, this is not a cheap pop at all. It's gone up in value since I've purchased it last year. And then when sending it into the post office and then trusting a company to handle it and not mess it up, like I trust Dark Parlor, so, and they did a great job with this one. I went with the yellow paint pen because I've seen most that are signed use white paint pen on this specific Funko Pop, which is all right. It does like fit the eyes, you know, but I wanted to go with yellow because to me it just stands out more. It screams out more caution, kind of like that plutonium sticker on there. And there's yellow in the Back to the Future movie font. So I thought that was a good color to go with, and I was very happy with that. And if you compare this Marty Pop to the one I got signed, where he's on the hoverboard in the pink signature, it's definitely a little bit thicker, and his signature is a little bit different. There's a lot of similarities, but differences too. So, and him having Parkinson's means that no two are going to be exactly alike. There's very much a couple similarities here and there that are always consistent with him, but none are like exact duplicate signatures. And then the next one I want to show here is a Grail piece for sure. One I never thought when I got into collecting signed Funko Pops that I'd ever be able to get my hands on a signed Johnny Depp Funko Pop. Like, this one came out of nowhere, like $7 a pop. Made the announcement that they had landed their biggest signing ever, which I agree, which was Johnny Depp. It wasn't the cheapest autograph to get, but it's definitely cheaper than what they could have charged if you compare what authenticated signed Johnny Depp things go for. Like, the guy does not really sign at all, you know, for private signings. So this was pretty big deal to get, especially you know, Captain Jack Sparrow. I love so many of his movies. He's like my favorite actor. The next one, or next set I want to show, is something I had imagined doing ever since I finished watching WandaVision. I really love that TV show. I love TV in general, so I like that they were able to cover so many different styles and looks, and the acting was on point from Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. Hopefully she gets an Emmy for what she did on this show, but I wanted to definitely get a set signed, either like the 50s couple pair, or when they're in wearing the costume, the Halloween costumes. So either one. And then when Ace Comic-Con offered a send-in option for both Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, I was like, wow. And this is just as the show ended, so it was like perfect timing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna send in the 50s version because I love the 50s styling, 50s TV shows. I love Lucy, 50s music, all that stuff. So, and since that was kind of also the first episode in this series, was the 50s episode, that these were perfect to get signed. And then them being black and white, I thought any color paint pen I'd pick, it's gonna pop off perfectly on these pops, and it did. I picked red, obviously, because of Scarlet Witch on the Wanda, and then I went with green on Vision because Vision is typically green. I mean, it's hard to get the exact green that he is in the Marvel movies, but in the comic books, he's much more a typical green. And I sent in Wanda to Twin Cities comics, and then the Comic Monster is where I sent Vision. Sometimes I just use different companies, even though they're all kind of participating in the same program. Then in the last video, I had mentioned that I was sending in a Margot Robbie pop to get signed, or that I was waiting on one, and I finally got it back. I went with the classic Harley Quinn look from the first Suicide Squad movie. I just thought like that's like the classic look, not like classic comic book, but classic like in the films. Like you always just imagine that outfit, the bat, everything. And then I went with the light blue signature, even though I think red or pink would have been perfect on this. There's so many colors that you could play with on this pop when picking a paint pen, but I went with the light blue. And also I just saw the Suicide Squad, which is the second movie, not necessarily a sequel, but that movie was awesome, so hats off to James Gunn. Margot Robbie does another signing. I wouldn't mind sending in a Margot Robbie pop from that film where she's wearing like the red dress, but that's something maybe for the future. Then next, I was lucky enough to get one of these 4,000 fluffy Funko Pops that went up on his website. As soon as I saw like him making the announcement that they were going to go on sale, I was like, I got to get one because I have all the other signed Gabriel Iglesias Funko Pops, and I wanted to get that one because it's just so colorful and unique, and the vibrant pink signature is perfect on this one. It stands out along with all the other colors. Then next we go to this Jack Skellington pop, which is signed by Danny Elfman, who aside from John Williams provided so many movie and TV memories to me personally. Like you can pick apart any Tim Burton movie, like, and he provided that iconic sound. So you got the Batman theme song, you got his insane work on the Edward Scissorhands soundtrack, and then the Simpsons theme song. Love like the first 10 seasons of the Simpsons and growing up with that and watching now even reruns. And then of course Nightmare Before Christmas, where he provided the singing voice to Jack Skellington, and he wrote and performed a lot of the music on that soundtrack. Moving on to wrestling, this Sasha Banks pop is signed by Mercedes Varnado, and that's the real name to the real person who plays the WWE character Sasha Banks. She is one of my favorite wrestlers. She kills any match she is in, and she was also recently in The Mandalorian as Koska Reeves. This was her first signing where she signed by her real name. If you're familiar with her signature, it's usually a dollar sign with a B and a line through each one, so it's pretty much just two letters and a line. And this one kind of stays consistent with that style, but obviously she swapped it out with a big M and a big V and the line next to that. I think it's just cool to have something that's signed by her like real initials, and she doesn't typically sign like that. She usually signs as Sasha Banks. And this was done through Star Wars Autograph Universe, and they got the first private signing with Mercedes Varnado. And I also lucked out before also in getting like a virtual meet and greet with her earlier this year, which I'll share right now.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. Happy birthday. I'm Steve. I'm from Phoenix.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that so much.
I got to see you at a meet and greet about 2 years ago when you were here for the Royal Rumble. Same with
Awesome.
cricket.
Yes, that's awesome. That was on my birthday.
Yes, it was on your
Hi,
birthday.
I
You and
remember.
Bailey.
That's so cool.
Um, I had a question. So you're now involved in two of my favorite fandoms, WWE and Star Wars. Is there another universe that the boss, Sasha or Mercedes, wants to get into?
Yeah, I want to go to Mars.
Mars. Yeah, shoot
Yeah,
for the world.
I'm gonna beat that little Elon
Universe.
Musk guy. I'm gonna beat him. I'm going there first. That's my next universe I'm going to.
And I look forward to seeing you in season 3 of Mandalorian. I know you can't say anything, but you guys have to reclaim Mandalore. So I'm not even going to ask you that.
Elon Musk, I'm coming.
You have to.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then also, I've been able to meet her in person. Like, this was back in 2019, all before COVID. I met her and Bailey, and super nice people. Just got a photo. They were kind of rushing through the line because there were so many people. And I did bring my Funko Pop, but I was not able to get it signed then. So I'm glad I was able to get it signed now. Okay, next wrestler is Edge, WWE legend. As soon as I saw this wave of WWE Funko Pops come out, I was like, I have to get a signed Edge Pop to add to the rest of the WWE legends that I got. And Dark Parlor Originals came through. They're really consistent when getting a lot of current wrestlers and legends when new pops come out. And I know I had shown this Stone Cold in an unboxing, but here he is again in all his pop armor, shield glory. And I've been monitoring, he's been doing more signings this year with a couple different companies. So if you miss out on the $7 a pop signing, hopefully you've had luck getting in on some of the other signings he's done. So I know with all the Stone Cold pops, he's been more autograph friendly as far as private signings. So I don't know if that's gonna keep up next year, but definitely take advantage of it. And I've also been able to add a couple more Ric Flair pieces to my collection. I got this $7 a pop bundle where it had a Ric Flair and a Charlotte Flair. I didn't have the Ric Flair and the red rope, so I added that one to my collection. And also I was able to score a 2-pack with Rick and Charlotte through Zobi, and it was through their quality control sale. I think it was like $60, maybe 55 for this 2-pack, signed and authenticated by Ric Flair signature. So that alone, if you know what Ric Flair's signature typically goes for, is usually a pretty good deal, just on the signature alone, because he's been charging more nowadays. And there is a little issue there in the corner with the plastic there in the left-hand corner. A little small tear, not a huge deal to me, because one day I'd like to add Charlotte's signature there on the other side and have a signed father and daughter piece there to add to the collection. I think now, totaling all the Ric Flair pops that I have, the only one I don't have signed is Ric Flair in the pink robe. So if I get that one, then I'll have all Ric Flair pops signed. And with him now not renewing his contract with WWE, I don't know if that also extends into merchandise, so we may not even see more Ric Flair pops in the future. And then next, I don't have too many basketball signed pops in my collection, but the 96 to 98 Chicago Bulls were my all-time favorite growing up. Yeah, Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. And then getting Jordan to sign a pop, or buying a signed Jordan pop, would be way too expensive, and who knows if Jordan even does signings like that. But Rodman definitely does like to make money, so he will do signings. So when I saw that a Dennis Rodman pop was coming out, I'm like, Rodman's gonna sign. It's only a matter of time, and he did, and he's not an expensive signature to get at all. So Plastic Empire had these up for sale, and they had them in all the different colors that are his hair. I ended up with the blue one, which looks nice. I've seen other people get some other colors like purple or something where it just looks too dark or hard to see, like, and they weren't pleased. And thank you for taking the time to watch, and hopefully if you guys are fans of autographed Funko Pops, or you just curious about what some of these signatures look like or anything like that, hopefully this has been informative and somewhat entertaining for you. Thank you.